It includes IT infrastructure, it includes internet, telecommunication networks, it includes computer systems, it includes embedded processors and controllers. All these together, which are interlinked with each other, and they are clubbed with each other, they are exchanging information in between them, and this is wholesome is called as cyberspace. CYBRSPAC. So we many a times call it as a cyberspace or cyber crime. So cyberspace is nothing but all these things comes together and which forms a cyberspace. Moving ahead, if you look at these pictures, you will come to know that various types of how fraud occurs and what type of fraud takes place is shown over here. Coming to the first type is credit card fraud, which is widely happening day by day. Every day it is increasing. It is related to credit cards. The next thing is stealing important files. Most of time these you can say unwanted people, we call those as criminals or cyber criminals. Their intention is to steal files or steal data. Coming to the third picture, that is phishing attacks. That is somebody shown here backside in a black dress, so which is not visible one actually, and he is sending a number of messages, not messages, number of emails to thousands of people or say millions of people at a time. So out of these million of people, say some people open up that email and normally they give some link over there and they click on that link and they ask for giving your personal information. So some people without knowledge, unknowingly, they click on this type of mails and they fill up that form or provide their own information, and the next moment you will find that your account has been made empty. So these are the kind of attacks which are called as phishing attacks. So unless we do phishing, no, like that one, thousands or multiple number of emails are sent at a time to number of email users. And out of say 1,000, suppose at least 100 people click on those mails and open up, they find to be victims of that one. They victim ठरतात किंवा prey ठरतात. Last you can say picture, you will find that stealing personal data or server data. So unknowingly, these people, no, these cyber criminals or the guilty people, they try to illegally intercept into your, you can say, servers, and they try to steal information without the knowledge of owner of it or without the knowledge of the authenticated person of it. In the history of cyber world, this was the biggest, you can say, fraud took place in around 3 years back in 2018. So this was actually a fraud on a Cosmos Bank, because this is actually the news which was published in the various newspapers. So the fraud was around more than 94 crore rupees were siphoned. जवळपास 94 कोटी रुपये चोरले गेले online hacker attack through. So this is recorded as one of the biggest fraud in the banking industry. That is you can say, online fraud. Now, how this has took place? A simple thing. What they have used is, see here, these people, no, hackers, they have created you can say clone of ATM server. प्रत्येक बँकेमध्ये सर्व्हर्स असतात, वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे सर्व्हर्स असतात, डेटाबेस सर्व्हर्स असतात, ॲप्लिकेशन सर्व्हर्स असतात, त्याच्यानंतर इतर पण सर्व्हर असतात, बॅकअप सर्व्हर असतात, वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे सर्व्हर्स असतात. तसेच बँकेचे जर ATMs असतील तर त्याच्यासाठी मेंटेन करण्यासाठी बँकेमध्ये ATM सर्व्हर्स असतात. Now the job of this ATM server is to validate every card which is swapped at a ATM center. ATM सर्व्हरचं काम काय असतं की ज्या वेळेला एखादा अकाउंट होल्डर ATM सेंटरमध्ये जातो त्या बँकेचा आणि तो कार्ड स्वॅप करतो ATM सेंटरमध्ये गेल्यानंतर. कार्ड स्वॅप केल्यानंतर काय होतं की त्या युजरची इन्फॉर्मेशन चेक केली जाते की बाबा वेदर ही और शी इज valid user of that bank or not, valid account holder of that bank or not, हे चेक केलं जातं. आणि हे कोण चेक करतं? सर्व्हर साईडला डेटा असतो, डेटाबेस ऑफ ऑल द व्हॅलिड युजर्स ऑफ दॅट बँक हू आर हॅव्हिंग द ATM कार्ड्स. ज्यांचे कार्ड्स असतात फॉर एक्झाम्पल एखाद्या बँकेचे, तर ते सगळे चेक करण्याचं काम त्या सर्व्हरकडे असतं. So what these hackers have done is that they have watched all the transactions of this bank for number of days, or you can say number of months they have watched. आणि त्यांनी असं वॉच केलं की कोणत्या दिवशी बँकेमध्ये जास्त गर्दी असते, कोणत्या दिवशी बँकेमध्ये कमी गर्दी असते, कोणत्या दिवशी लोक अतिशय तुरळक असतात आणि ट्रान्झॅक्शन कमी होत असतात आणि काय काय होत असतं हे बऱ्याच वेळा वॉच केलं जातं. Maybe online, remotely also, they go on watching it. So they have watched and they found that these 2 days where you can say Saturday and Sundays, Saturdayला बऱ्याच वेळा बँकांना सुट्टी असते आणि संडेला तर सुट्टी असते. हे 2 दिवस काय असतं की बँकेला सुट्टी असल्यामुळं इतर हे नसतात, म्हणजे रेग्युलर कस्टमर्स विच आर कमिंग टू द बँक, आणि they can withdraw the money from ATMs only. So they have created a clone of their ATM of that bank. आणि जेवढे काही कार्ड होते ऑल ओव्हर इंडिया, अँड नॉट ओनली ऑल ओव्हर इंडिया, बरेच कार्डचे आउट ऑफ इंडिया वेगवेगळ्या कंट्रीमधून स्वॅप केले गेले. अँड दोज कार्ड्स आर व्हॅलिडेटेड, म्हणजे जे कार्ड स्वॅप केलं गेलं त्याला ऑटोमॅटिकली व्हॅलिड केलं गेलं, ठरवलं गेलं हॅकर्सनी, बिकॉज दॅट वॉज क्लोन्ड ATM सर्व्हर. आणि त्यामुळे ते सगळे युजर जे फेक युजर होते त्यांनी सगळ्यांनी 2 दिवस कंटिन्युअसली दे वेअर विथड्रॉईंग द मनी. सो फर्स्ट डे दे कुड नॉट कम टू नो व्हॉट इज हॅपनिंग देअर. Maybe at end of the day they thought that something wrong is there, but they could not find it. Second day also same problem was there. Money was withdrawn, more than 90 crore money was withdrawn. Then second day afternoon they came to know that something has happened. काहीतरी चुकीचं घडतंय हे लक्षात आल्यानंतर त्यांनी काय केलं की they have shut down their servers, main servers, database servers and all, and then they came to know that the money was stolen from people from all over, from places, major cities of India and various cities of various countries. So this was the biggest fraud which is recorded as a cyber fraud. Then coming to the next type of fraud, that is State Bank of Mauritius. After the event of Cosmos Bank, after few months, there was a big, again one more fraud was took place, which is State Bank of Mauritius, and they have lost 143 crore. Still the investigation is going on and nothing has happened. What I am trying to convey is that मी तुम्हाला सांगण्याचा हे प्रयत्न करतोय की हे फ्रॉड इतक्या मोठ्या प्रमाणात व्हायला लागलेत आणि मोठ्या मोठ्या अमाऊंट्स, एस्पेशली फायनान्शियल ऑर्गनायझेशन्स, डिफेन्स ऑर्गनायझेशन्स, you can say public sector organizations and even some private organizations, they are attacking. So in short, what is cyber crime? Any crime which is done using a computing device, a computer system, any computing device or any other computing device using internet and doing something illegally becomes a cyber crime. Now coming to what are the various, you can say, reasons for hacking or these cyber crimes. See here, these cyber hackers are intelligent guys, experts in systems. They know the thorough knowledge of computer systems, networks, architecture, and programming knowledge. They are having the knowledge of operating system, all types of knowledge they are having, and they are intelligent guys. But only thing is that they are using their knowledge for illegal purpose. If anything is carried out illegally, it becomes a crime. But if anything is carried out illegally using computers, systems, internet, or any other devices, networking devices, it becomes a cyber crime. So the purpose, there are various purposes are noted, found out behind hacking or cyber criminal hackers. Many times these hackers know just for fun they make an attack. Just to test their knowledge, they make attack. They introduce some virus, they inject some virus or scripts, or you can say worms through various types of softwares. Or sometimes they want to show that they are something special. They want to bring themselves to the notice of the people that they are something special, they are intelligent guys, or they can do it. That is what is, they show it. And most of time they attack or make a hacking for stealing important information. बऱ्याच वेळा ते इन्फॉर्मेशन स्टील करण्यासाठी अटॅक करण्याचा प्रयत्न करत असतात किंवा अटॅक केले जातात. समटाइम्स दे वॉन्टेड टू डॅमेज द सिस्टम. बऱ्याच वेळा तुमचं जे काय नॉर्मल ऑर्गनायझेशनचं किंवा कंपनीचं ऑपरेशन्स, रेग्युलर नॉर्मल ऑपरेशन्स चालू असतात, ते डिस्टर्ब करण्यासाठी they damage the system. Regular operations will be held up due to the hacking attacks. Sometimes they try to hamper the privacy of the people. See here in the organizations, various people used to work at various levels, at the top management level, at the middle management level, at the lower management level, or at various levels as a owner also. So sometimes they want to hamper their privacy, peep into their privacy, and they want to know that what they are doing. They want to steal or they want to watch and get something important so that they can steal this information. Many times the attacks are made for extortion. Just I told you that they want to get money. Most of the cyber attacks are made for getting or minting the money or exploiting the money also. That is money extortion. Some attacks are made for system security testing. They make an attack and they check that what type of system security is implemented in a particular organization, or what type of data security is implemented, what type of internet security is implemented, what type of, you can say, file security is implemented, what type of user security, database security is maintained. So to test whether their systems are secure or not, they do hacking. And to break the policy compliance also, they make hacking attacks. There are various types of hackers. Hackers are the persons who are, as I told you, intelligent guide. ते अतिशय हुशार असतात. त्यांना सर्व प्रकारचं कम्प्युटर सिस्टम्स बद्दल नॉलेज असतं, नेटवर्किंग बद्दलचं नॉलेज असतं, नेटवर्क इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर बद्दलचं नॉलेज असतं, नेटवर्किंग डिव्हाइस बद्दलचं नॉलेज असतं, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम्स बद्दलचं नॉलेज असतं. And not only that one, they know how the architecture of a system is designed, and all the details, hardware as well as software details, they used to know. And that's why they are intelligent guys. Only thing is that they use their intelligence for a wrong reason. for a wrong cause, and that's why they are called as hackers. So these hackers are different types of hackers categorized as white hat hackers, black hat hackers, and gray hat hackers. In short terms, white hat hackers are called as ethical hackers. Ethical hackers म्हणजे काय? Legal hackers. आता legal याचा अर्थ काय? Legal याचा अर्थ these hackers are appointed by a company or an organization to do the hacking. So they are permitted, they are allowed to do the hacking by organization who have appointed them. ज्यांनी अपॉइंट केलेलं असतं त्यांची परमिशन असते, त्यांना ऑथोराइज असते, ऑथॉरिटी दिलेली असते की सिस्टम हॅक करा किंवा टेस्ट करा, सो दॅट दे कॅन फाइंड आउट what are the various entry points or loopholes or weaknesses in their you can say systems or networks. So most of time they do penetration testing and they go on checking the flaws in the system, and they report to the higher authority of that organization that these are the various weaknesses or vulnerabilities or flaws in their system or network, so that later point of time they can patch up those loopholes or improve on those entry points, close these entry points, so that no illegal or any unauthorized person can intercept into their system or network. So in short, थोडक्यात म्हणजे ethical hackers म्हणजे ते experts असतात, just like hackers, as good as hackers. The difference is that they are authorized to hack or they are authorized to make testing of their system and infrastructure and networks, and they report to the organization's authority or owner of the company or higher authority of that organization. So ethical hackers are, you can say, legal hackers, or ethical hackers are called as white hat hackers. Coming to the next type, that is the exactly opposite of that one is black hat hackers. So these black hat hackers are called as illegal people or cyber criminals. As I told you, these are also experts, equally experts like ethical hackers. Only thing is that the purpose of these hackers is illegal. They hack the systems without the permission of the owner, without the knowledge of the owner or the higher authority of the owner, and their purpose is to harm its operations or steal important information. So त्यांचं पर्पज काय असतं की सिस्टम हॅम्पर करायचं ऑपरेशन्स, किंवा मेनी टाइम्स दे ट्राय टू स्टील sensitive, important, vital information of any organization or even individual as a person also. So black hat hackers' intentions are bad. That's why they are called as black hat hackers. So they carry out illegal activities, stealing corporate data, violating privacy, damaging the system, blocking network communication, and doing so many things. All this comes under black hat hackers activity, and this is called as various types of cyber criminal activities. Coming to the third type of hacker, which are mixed type of both, that is partially they are having, you can say, that is black hat hackers abilities as well as white hat hackers abilities. So they act without malicious intent, means their intention is not malicious, but for their fun, just to make a fun, they do hacking and they try to exploit the security weaknesses in a computer system or network without owner's permission. म्हणजे काय, ते just टेस्ट करण्यासाठी, just to make a fun and check out what are the securities are employed implemented in the systems or networks, and they intercept into their breach the security, and they get the illegal access. That is, without the permission of owner, they get the illegal access, and they show that they can do something, that is gray hat hackers. So their intent, that is purpose, is to bring the weakness to the attention of owners and getting appreciation or a little bounty. Sometimes they get some appreciation or they want to have some money out of it. Apart from this one, there is another category, that is which are called as red hat hackers. These hackers are again a blend of both black and white hat hackers. They mixture illegal hackers and legal hackers. They are usually on the level of hacking government agencies. बऱ्याच वेळा त्यांचं टार्गेट काय असतं? गव्हर्नमेंट एजन्सीज, गव्हर्नमेंट सेक्टर ऑर्गनायझेशन्स, टॉप सिक्रेट इन्फॉर्मेशन हब्स, जिथं जिथं महत्वाची माहितीचे देवाणघेवाण होत असते त्याच्यावर अटॅक करणे, एस्पेशली पब्लिक सेक्टर ऑर्गनायझेशन्स, डिफेन्स ऑर्गनायझेशन्स, अँड जनरली एनिथिंग दॅट फॉल्स अंडर द कॅटेगरी ऑफ सेन्सिटिव्ह इन्फॉर्मेशन. अतिशय महत्वाची इन्फॉर्मेशन असते, जिथं देवाणघेवाण होत असते, एक्सचेंज होत असते, त्या ऑर्गनायझेशनवर अटॅक करत असतात. त्यांना रेड हॅट हॅकर्स म्हटलं जातं. देन कम्स ब्लू हॅट हॅकर्स. These hackers are someone outside computer security consulting firms. बऱ्याच वेळा ते कन्सल्टिंग फर्म मध्ये असतात. who is used to bug test. बऱ्याच वेळा ते बग टेस्ट करण्यासाठी माहीर असतात किंवा that is their job. A system prior to its launch. प्रत्येक सिस्टम लॉन्च करण्यापूर्वी बग टेस्ट करण्याचं काम हे करत असतात. दे लुक फॉर लूप होल्स, म्हणजे विकनेसेस किंवा फ्लॉज चेक करत असतात. ते कॅन बी एक्सप्लॉयटेड and try to close these gaps. So Microsoft also uses the term blue hat hackers to represent a series of security briefing events. And then comes elite hackers. So this is social status among hackers. These people are having a social status among hackers, and that's why they are called as elite hackers, which is used to describe the most skilled. And they try to discover and exploit will circulate among these hackers. As I told you, cyber criminal activity is a electronic device, using an electronic device with a connection to the internet and making some fraud, that is cyber crime. It was recorded around 44% of adults were victims in 2016. This is data from, actually older data from Western country, UK. Device can become infected within 5 minutes, and the cost of this infection is pounds 37 billion pounds. Coming to various types of attacks, some attacks which are non-technical one. Much of technical things are not involved there, but under technical attacks there are various types of attacks. That is denial of service attack. Then some attacks comes under malicious code. That comes under malicious code, viruses, then worms and Trojan horse. And some other type of attacks are called as sniffing and spoofing attacks. Let us go ahead. Denial of service or DOS and DDoS attacks. Now these type of attacks or DOS attack, the aim or the purpose is to preventing a legitimate user, means a legal user who is authorized to get access. हे ज्याला valid user आहेत, they are trying to get the access. त्यांना परमिशन आहे, अथॉरिटी आहे टू सम सिस्टम्स रिसोर्स. सो these people, that is attackers, attack on these systems and users. The attacker uses specialized software to send a flood of data packets, that is flooding of data packets, to target computer with the aim of overloading its resources. म्हणजे याचा अर्थ काय? सिंपल वर्ड्स मध्ये ऑथोराइज युजर्स दे आर रिक्वेस्टिंग फॉर some system resources, whereas attacker don't want to allow these users to get the resources available, and for that one they make a flooding of data packets. आणि त्याच्यामुळे काय होतं की रिसोर्स अवेलेबल होत नाही आणि दे कांट परफॉर्म देअर प्रोसेसिंग और दे कांट यूज द रिसोर्सेस. In case of distributed denial of service attack, DOS मधलाच distributed denial of service attacks, this attack takes place in which attacker gains illegal, that is without permission, violating the norms or law, administrative access, that is main access to as many as computers. जवळपास सगळ्या सिस्टमचा कंट्रोल they try to make, get the access to the controlling on the main server, you can say, on the internet as possible, and uses the multiple computers to send a flood of data packets to the target systems. Now, in this diagram, you will come to know that, see here, there are various types of computer systems are there, like academic computer systems, home computer systems, ISP, that is Internet Service Provider systems, and government computer systems. And all these are requesting for some resource from the target system. So they are requesting for some resource. So what attacker is doing here? Upper side it is shown that these attackers are attacking on these various types of organizational systems, that is academic computers, home computers, ISP service provider computers, and government computers. So what will happen? These computer systems will hang up due to flooding or flooded messages, and they may be unable to connect with the target system. So this is one kind of denial of service attack, or this is also called as one type of cyber criminal attack. Now see here, in the history it is recorded that due to this type of attacks, organizations have suffered from financial losses. It is listed here, even though it is older data, but it gives you can say a clear picture that, for example, sabotage $871,000, system penetration 90,150, then 901,050. Then website defacement, that means they try to deface the website itself. Attack on a website and change the main contents of the attacks, main homepage of the, you can say, portal or website. Due to that one, a wrong information will be given to the customers or the, you can say, stakeholders of that particular website, or clients of that website, or owners of that websites. Misuse of public web application, it is $2,747,000. Then telecom fraud, then unauthorized access, laptop theft, financial fraud, abuse of wireless networks, inside net abuse, theft of property information, denial of service. All these are the various types of, you can say, setbacks, financial setbacks made due to DOS attack. These attacks are classified in different types, that is DOS attacks, denial of service attacks. First one is bandwidth consumption attack. That means the attacker will try to consume maximum network bandwidth, and due to that one, network becomes slow or network becomes unavailable. The second type of attack is resource starvation. What happens here? They try to make the resource starvation, that is mainly CPU, memory, and storage space. So genuine user will not get the resources available to them. Programming flaws, that is failure of application or operating system components to handle exceptional conditions. So this is comes under programming flaws. And the last one is routing and DNS attacks. So here the attacker will try to manipulate routing tables, changing routing tables to route to attacker's network or black hole. So they try to divert the you can say traffic from a legal way route to that of attacker's route, so that they can control over all the traffic and they can see what is happening there. They can steal data, steal information, monitor the activity. Attack on DNS servers, again routing to attackers or black hole. Coming to various types of network-based attacks, that is better accessibility because of the network. So they try to attack on websites, as I mentioned just now. They try to attack on email servers so that email servers can hang up or go down. File server attacks, DNS server attacks, routers attacks. Under web attacks, one of the attack is very popular one, which is called as a buffer overflow attack. So what happens in this case is that occurs when a program does not check to make sure the data is put into a space will actually fit into the space. So here what happens? A weakness or a flaw exists, that is vulnerability in Microsoft IIS server running on a Windows 2000 that allows a remote intruder to run arbitrarily code on the victim's machine, and that code will allow them to gain complete administrative control of the machine. So due to this attack, during buffer overflow attack, the attacker will get administrative control on the machine. Semantic attacks are again a kind of web attacks, that is changing the web content subtly. So from website, or fine day morning, you will come to know that your website home page has been totally changed. It is disrupted. Some garbage has been put. Completely home page change केलेलं असतं. Main contents त्याचे wipe out करून काहीतरी mix करून वेगळंच काहीतरी display केलेलं असतं. Then coming to Java cookies containing executable code like BO2K, web admin utilities. Examples of web attacks are cracking session ID numbers, that is URL session tracking, hidden form elements, cookies, cracking SQL database. These are some of the examples of web attacks. Coming to email attacks. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, audible, na?
Yes.
Okay.
Audible, sir.
So I am trying to cover maximum.
No.
वाटते पण शक्य होत नाही. ठीक आहे, बघू कसं होतंय. ईमेल अटॅक्स. ईमेल अटॅक हे बऱ्यापैकी ईमेल सर्व्हिस सर्व्हरवर अटॅक केले जातात. दॅट इज ईमेल बॉम्बिंग. What happens in case of email bombing is that repeatedly sending an identical email message to a particular address. Say for example, spamming HTML. म्हणजे email bombing attack केला जातो ह्याला. Continuously same type of emails are sent. Under this one, malware attachments are there. That is, with email, if you open up those spam mails, what happens is that some link will be given in those emails, and you are requested, or you can say asked to click on the links for further details, or click on the links and you will get more details, something like that, or you enter your information like that. So when user without knowledge, without you can say any intention, clicks on those type of mails, then and attachments, if they open, their computer or their system gets attachment with that of worms, which comes or enters into your system. Worms are a type of scripts or type of viruses only. Then Trojans, all these are comes with that of those type of attachments. Spam, these are unsolicited junk mails. These are, you can say, which are not with authority or with permission. They are not sent. Just like that, they send a spam mail. And sometimes a new user, most of time, if they are not aware of what is emailing and all, they will just click on that one, that what it is, and they enter their personal details, important details, account details, and then it gets hacked. So these files, like RTF files, which are nothing but rich text format files. Then MP3 files consist of highly compressed audio tracks. As I told you about network attacks, these are DOS, that is denial of service attacks, DDoS attacks, then DNS, binding, redirection. The site you are on is not really the site you think you are on. म्हणजे याचा अर्थ काय, बऱ्याच वेळा आपण वेगवेगळ्या साईट्सना, वेबसाईट्सना व्हिजिट करत असतो डेली. बऱ्याच वेळा आपल्याला नॉलेज नसतं आणि नेहमीप्रमाणे आपण क्लिक करतो वेबसाईटवर आणि वी स्टार्ट कम्युनिकेटिंग देअर. पण दिस अटॅकर्स नो, दे क्रिएट फेक लुक अलाइक वेबसाईट्स. याचा अर्थ काय, रेग्युलर वेबसाईट सारखंच त्यांना नाव दिलेलं असतं, पण काही चेंजेस केलेले असतात. सो वी डोंट गो इन टू द मायन्यूट डिटेल्स ऑफ दॅट वन. google.com, मला वाटतंय डेली बिलियन्स ऑफ युजर्स आर व्हिजिटिंग google.com. बऱ्याच वेळा GOGLE तिथे काय तर स्मॉल अप्पर केस वगैरे चेंज केलेलं असतं. ते आपल्याला वाटतं की ते गुगलच साईट आहे. सो वी क्लिक इट and as if that we are visiting a Google site, we start working there. Like that one, they create fake websites and they divert the communication from, you can say, genuine website to that of fake websites, and which is linked with that of attackers. And they try to gain the control over, and they try to get the information, valuable information, important information of users and organizations. Routers, they change routing information to disable networks many a times. This comes under network attacks. Then sniffers, these are indirectly attacks. What the sniffers do is that they examine network traffic. Sniffers the काम असं असतं की these are one type of, you can say, small, you can say, softwares only, piece of code. So they go on watching the traffic silently on the network. म्हणजे नेटवर्कवर कुठून इन्फॉर्मेशन येते, कुठं सेंड केली जाते, हाऊ ट्रॅफिक इज हॅपनिंग, वेअर फ्रॉम इन्फॉर्मेशन, हाऊ इन्फॉर्मेशन फ्लो इज हॅपनिंग, and when the flow is very high, when it is low, all these things are sniffed, or rather you can say that this information is through sniffer attacks monitored. And they gather usernames, passwords during these sniffer attacks, and they try to capture mailing information, that is electronic mailing. Many times to prevent this one, firewalls are used. So as I told you that denial of service attacks, these attacks makes network or hosts unusable. They try to disrupt the services, that is normal operations are held up, become slow or unoperational, difficult or impossible to locate source. जो काय सोर्स पाहिजे, ज्याला रिक्वेस्ट करतात लीगल युजर्स, they will be unable to find it, become very popular with attackers, especially IRC sites and controversial sites. Other attacks are social engineering attacks. मला वाटते आपल्या समोर जे कोणी विद्यार्थी वर्ग, मित्रांनो जॉईन झालेले आहात, सर्वजण सोशल नेटवर्क्सवर ऍक्टिव्ह असाल. बऱ्यापैकी सर्वजण फेसबुक, ट्विटर, लिंक्डइन किंवा आणखी कोणती वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे सोशल मीडिया वापरत असाल, व्हॉट्सॲप अँड वेरियस अदर टाइप ऑफ सोशल नेटवर्क्स. So the attacks are mainly made through these social networks. Initially they send a friend request, and then you will be very happy that somebody is becoming your friend or inviting you as a friend or wants to join you as a friend. So happily you accept the request and you furnish your personal details, and slowly they develop the friendship, and after some time they try to, you can say, blackmail you and try to mint the money, try to gain information, important information like that. So these are authority attacks using fake badge. जसं आपल्याकडे आयडेंटिटी कार्ड असतं तसं फेक बॅजेस ते वापरतात, युनिफॉर्म, टू गेन इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑफ or access or identify a key individual. बऱ्याच वेळा महत्वाच्या व्यक्ती वेगवेगळ्या ऑर्गनायझेशन्स मध्ये असतात, वेगवेगळ्या पोस्टवर वर्क करत असतात, इम्पॉर्टंट पोस्टवर वर्क करत असतात. त्यांची फेक आयडी क्रिएट करून त्यांच्याशी मैत्री डेव्हलप करून दे ट्राय टू गेट important, vital, critical, very, very confidential data. And they try to, you can say, blackmail sometimes. They try to friendly request and gain the information. So making an outlandish statement in order to get an informational response. These are persistent attacks, that is continuous harassment using guilt, intimidation, and other negative ways to obtain information. Under social attacks, social parties are a great time and place to gain access and information from about employees and activities. So they try to gain personal details of employees, what they are working on, which project they are working, what type of work it is, what is the sensitive data exchange. They try to gain confidential information about, or you can say, defense secrets, government secrets, the enemy countries. They try to find out by having a social, you can say, network friendships. Fake survey attacks. They will send a message that we are carrying out a survey for study purpose, this and this, that. And you just enter your details and just, you can say, fill up the questionnaire. Like that also. So you will find that अरे ही फक्त questionnaire आहे, आपल्याला भरायचे आहे. So we freely, or you can say willingly, fill up that questionnaire and we enter our personal details also. Sometimes, most of time, mobile number. आणि त्याच्यामुळे काय होतं की it creates a problem later point of time. Help desk attacks. मला जरा help पाहिजे, I am in problem, send me so much money. I'm in trouble, I'm out of place, please put money on my account so that I can come out to your country and I will help you, I will return your money, something like that. Attacks मध्ये type वेगळे असतात. काही attacks are called as active attacks and some attacks are called as passive attacks. Now these active attacks are nothing but denial of service attacks, as I told you, where actually hackers are actually involved, breaking into a site, that is breaching a site's security, intelligence gathering, resource usage, making use of valuable resources, and deception, that is deceiving. Passive attack मध्ये attacker directly involved नसतो, indirectly he or she will try to find out the details. And there comes sniffing, that is sniffing under attacks related to passwords, stealing the password, login and password, email ID and password, network traffic details, sensitive information. All this comes under information gathering, and these are called as indirect or passive attacks. Now, different modes of hacker attacks. Most of the hackers, they make attacks over the internet. Some attacks over LAN, on locally based machines, offline. And these are for stealing information or money also, and deceiving. Coming to spoofing, that is this is one type of, can say, technical attack. Spoofing attack मध्ये काय होत असतं की attacker alter his identity so that someone thinks he is someone else. For example, बऱ्याच वेळा आपण म्हणतो की परीक्षेसाठी एखादा तोतय विद्यार्थी किंवा डमी विद्यार्थी बसला तर त्याला पकडलं गेलं तर आपण म्हणतो की डमी विद्यार्थी परीक्षा देत होता आणि तो पकडला गेला, स्क्वॉडनं पकडला वगैरे. So this dummy is nothing but a kind of spoofing only. So the attacker will behave that he is the real one on behalf of the genuine or a regular person or a user. So under this attack, there can be email spoofing, IP spoofing, and web spoofing. Email spoofing च्या वेळा काय होत असतं बघा, attacker sends messages, that is number of messages, as someone else want can be repercussions. So sends hundreds of messages, thousands of messages and try to attack. So here create an account with a similar email address. It looks like a valid regular email address, but it is a created by identical to genuine one, identical to original email ID, but it is not a original email ID. It is created by a you can say attacker, and he sends messages to the valid users. आणि चुकून समजा व्हॅलिड युजरनं जर ओपन केलं आणि स्टार्ट कम्युनिकेशन, देन आफ्टर सम टाइम द स्पूफर विल और अटॅकर विल गेन valuable information from your email ID. Modify a email client. Attacker can put in any return address he wants to in the email he sends. Next type of spoofing is web spoofing. As I told you that earlier, बऱ्याच वेळा they create fake websites and they try to make it available to the users so that users can start using those websites which looks like a genuine website. Original website सारखंच नाव दिलेलं असतं वेब ॲड्रेस, आणि त्या वेबसाईटवर क्लिक केल्यानंतर चुकीच्या वेबसाईटवर तुमचं कम्युनिकेशन सुरू होतं आणि you sometimes give valuable information also. Within this one, man in the middle attack also happens. That is, two persons, receiver and sender, are communicating, and in between that one, attacker makes intercepts into their communication by making a proxy attack. That is, proxy between the web server and the client, and then attacker has to compromise the router or node through which the relevant traffic flows. म्हणजे सेंडर आणि रिसिव्हर मध्ये जी काय इन्फॉर्मेशन एक्सचेंज व्हायला लागली आहे किंवा व्हॅल्युएबल डेटा सेंड केला जातोय किंवा रिसिव्ह केला जातोय त्याच्यावर कंट्रोल मिळवून ही कॅन स्टील द इन्फॉर्मेशन. और URL rewriting, that is वेबसाईट ॲड्रेस रिरायटिंग, ट्रॅकिंग स्टेट म्हणजे काय चाललंय, कशा प्रकारचं ट्रॅफिक एक्सचेंज ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन इज गोइंग ऑन, दॅट कॅन बी tracked, and where from it is coming and where it is going. Session hijacking. This is as good as taking the control on a particular network session. That is exchange of information or communication between two people or two organizations. The process is of taking over an existing active session. आता कसं होतंय बघा, युजर मेक्स अ कनेक्शन टू द सर्व्हर बाय ऑथेंटिकेटिंग युजर आयडी अँड पासवर्ड. युजर काय करतो, युजर आयडी आणि पासवर्ड देऊन कम्युनिकेशन सुरू करतो सर्व्हरशी, आणि थोड्या वेळानंतर काय होतं, आफ्टर द युजर ऑथेंटिकेट दे हॅव ऍक्सेस टू द सर्व्हर ॲज लॉंग ॲज द सेशन लास्ट. युजरला सर्व्हरवर कम्युनिकेशन एस्टॅब्लिश केलं जातं आणि इट कंटिन्यूस. हॅकर काय करतो इथं, हॅकर टेक्स द युजर ऑफलाईन बाय डिनायल ऑफ सर्व्हिस, denial of service attack करून, and hacker gains access to the user by impersonating the user. Hacker काय करतो, ऍक्च्युअली युजरच्या जागी स्वतः युजर आहे तोच रिअल युजर आहे असं करून सर्व्हरशी कम्युनिकेशन करायला लागतो. दॅट इज सेशन हायजॅकिंग. आयडेंटिटी थेफ्ट म्हणजे एखाद्याची ओळख चोरणे. सो अनदर पर्सन्स पर्सनल डिटेल्स, using another person's personal details to obtain credit or loans. रिअल युजर बाहेर बाजूला राहिला, दुसरा ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ अ फेक युजर विल बिहेव दॅट ही इज अ रिअल युजर अँड ही विल ट्राय टू गेट क्रेडिट्स अँड लोन्स. ह्या प्रकारचे बऱ्याच वेळा अटॅक किंवा अशा प्रकारचे फ्रॉड होत आहेत, होत राहतील. झालेले आहेत. Coming to phishing attacks, criminals pose as legitimate म्हणजेच ऑथराइज किंवा लीगल कंपनीज. फिशिंग अटॅक करणारे काय करतात की ते एक लीगल ऑथराइज कंपनी आहेत असं बिहेव करतात. अँड दे सेंड hundreds ऑफ ईमेल्स टू hundreds ऑफ पीपल. ते काय करतात की आमच्या कंपनीचे असे असे प्रोडक्ट्स आहेत किंवा ह्या सर्व्हिसेस आहेत किंवा यू कॅन जॉईन विथ अस, यू कॅन पार्टनर विथ अस असे म्हणून thousands of mails they send to the users, legal users on their email. People reply criminals now have everything they need to steal your identity. मग काय होतं की रेग्युलर युजर ह्या ईमेल्सला रिस्पॉन्ड करतात, उत्तर देतात, रिप्लाय देतात अँड दे सेंड देअर पर्सनल डिटेल्स सो दॅट दे कॅन गेट द कंट्रोल ओव्हर देअर. एक एक्झाम्पल बघा फिशिंग अटॅकचं. अ बॅड डे फिशिंग बीट्स अ गुड डे वर्किंग. आता बघा काय होतं इथं. मोर दॅन अराउंड 20 lakh ईमेल्स वेअर सेंट. त्याच्यापैकी किती डिलिव्हर झाले? अराउंड यू कॅन से 10 lakh डिलिव्हर टू रिसिपेंट. वेगवेगळ्या रिसिपेंटना 10 lakh 20 lakh पैकी रिसिव्ह झाले. त्यापैकी 5,000 पीपल दे हॅव क्लिक्ड ऑन द फिशिंग लिंक. जे काही लिंक दिलेली आहे ह्या ईमेलमध्ये त्या लिंकला क्लिक केले. 5,000 पैकी 100 एंटर पर्सनल डिटेल्स. फक्त 100 लोकांनी पर्सनल डिटेल्स एंटर केलेले आहेत. आणि एव्हरी पर्सन पेज $1,200, नॉट डॉलर, पाऊंड. एका पाऊंडची किंमत म्हणजे किती रुपीज आहे माहित आहे का मित्रांनो? बघा जरा चेक करा. तर इट्स व्हेरी कॉस्टली.